Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. We're going to be talking about Neptune Inconjunct in Midheaven and the natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects of the natal chart. They're a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Neptune Inconjunct in Midheaven in a natal chart, one way it may manifest could be that an adjustment, which is the inconjunct, may be needed between matters associated with sleeping and relaxing, which is Neptune, and career-related activities, which is the Midheaven. One or the other may be overemphasized. The key is to find balance and equilibrium between the two. So it could be where you're either dominated by sleeping and relaxing to the expense and exclusion of career-related activities, or career-related activities may monopolize your time and energy to the expense and exclusion of sleeping and relaxing. So again, it's about finding the balance, the equilibrium, and the harmony with the energy. Now, because when you have inconjunct aspects in astrology, it could be a lot of fluctuation, vacillation, and distortion of energy. It's about trying to find some harmony with two things. And so, if you have say the Midheaven is in Sagittarius as an example, career-related activities may be associated with publishing, advertising, printing press operation, philosophy, religion, foreign travel, translation, sports, the outdoors, camping, as some examples. Now, also, another way that this aspect may be expressed in the natal chart is that there may be an imbalance, which is the inconjunct, between activities associated with those less fortunate than yourself, which is Neptune, and the dominant parent, which is often the father, and you may be dominated by one or the other. So it could be that you're doing, so much for those less fortunate than yourself, and other, it could be Neptune-related people in general, to the expense and exclusion of activities with the dominant parent, or it could be the other way around. It could be the dominant parent may monopolize your time and dominate your time and energy to the expense and exclusion of doing things for those that are less fortunate than yourself. So it's really, again, it's about finding the balance, the harmony, and the equilibrium with the energy. Because again, you could have a lot of vacillation and fluctuation when you're talking about inconjunct aspects in astrology. And let's say, if you have, the Midheaven, say it's in Aries as an example, the dominant parent may be an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be somebody that's aggressive, assertive, forceful, combative, courageous, brave, pioneering, but at the same time can be very abrupt, outspoken, impulsive, and impetuous as well. Now, also, too, Neptune Inconjunct Midheaven in natal chart can also indicate where there may be too much or too little inspiration, which is Neptune for career-related endeavors, which is the Midheaven. Now, the Midheavens say, now, it could be where at times you may have an exorbitant amount of inspiration, which is Neptune for career-related activities, matters connected with your livelihood or business, which is the Midheaven. And other times you just may be so very apathetic regarding those matters. So it's really, you may, have trouble finding the balance and the equilibrium and the harmony with that energy. Now, this thing about this is now, let's say, for example, if the Midheaven is in Taurus, career-related endeavors, maybe handled with a very or done in a very plotting, deliberate, and methodical manner. It may be doing something that's Taurus related, whether it could be farming, gardening, cultivation, carpet laying, geology, architecture, agriculture, banking, finance, art, or music as some examples. Now, also, too, another way that this aspect may manifest in the natal chart is that you may either sacrifice too much or too little for the dominant parent, older people, and authority figures, which is the midheaven, and sacrifice, of course, is connected with Neptune. Now, let's say, if Neptune, is in Aquarius, sacrificing may be done with flavor with more altruism and selflessness. It may be doing something connected with computers or electronics, such as computer or electronic repair. Maybe it's doing something connected with astrology or astronomy. Or humanitarian, altruistic endeavors as some examples. So it could be where, at times you may be, showing a tremendous amount of sacrifice, for those people. Then other times you just may, go through protracted periods of not doing so. So again, you have a lot of, vacillation and fluctuation with the energy. Now, another thing about this aspect, it could also indicate where one may express, expressing altruism, compassion, forgiveness, and sacrifice, which is Neptune, may at times be exceptionally beneficial to your reputation and public image, which is the midheaven. At other times, it may not have, any effect on it. May not necessarily be detrimental to it, but it's just, it's not really doing much to help it. But it doesn't mean you don't want to express those qualities, but at the same time, it's understanding that those are not, may not be things at times where expressing those qualities it's not going to be where it's going to be advantageous in terms of your, as far as the public image goes. It could be where you express those qualities in many cases, but it may at times may not have that effect on really good effect on it, because that's not what because that's just the way it could work out. Now, so, the thing is, if you have, Neptune, say in Capricorn, those, the altruism, the compassion, the forgiveness, the sacrificing may be expressed often toward, older people. It could be done, with a lot of, structure, consistency, discipline, a lot of seriousness, and a lot of concentration, as well. Now, another thing about this aspect in the natal chart is that Neptune-related people may either be extremely advantageous or no help whatsoever to the success that you may attain, which is the midheaven. Now, Neptune-related people can cover a number of persons, whether it's those less fortunate or those formerly imprisoned or incarcerated. It may be people that are, in Neptune-related professions, whether it's people that are involved in poetry, dancing, photography, chemistry, anesthesiology, chemistry, or the metaphysical, which includes astrology. And let's say, if you have, the midheaven in Gemini as an example, the success that one may attain may be done in, manifold things, a wide divergence of outlets. It could be done, doing something connected with communications, such as data or satellite communications, writing, journalism, reporting, or field associated with manual dexterity, which can include auto or refrigeration mechanics as some examples. Now, also, another way this aspect may manifest is that at times you may be very idealistic, which is Neptune, in matters, connected with social status and stature in life, which is the midheaven. And other times you may be extremely pessimistic in those matters. So it's a lot of back and forth, extreme energy with inconjunct aspects. Now, let's say if the midheaven, is in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, attaining, greater social status and stature in life may be done with a lot of dedication, devotion, tenacity, care, emotion, It may be doing something Cancerian related, whether it could be doing something connected with cooking, culinary, restaurant work, home renovation, remodeling, roofing, real estate, working in a laundry or plumbing business as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Lerner saying, stay well.